And it sounds like you've practiced so much at being perfect that you have a group of people that look to you for deals. How do you find deals for people?
For me, it all starts with finding the right partner to begin with. I'm not running the day-to-day of these operations. And so my job is to align myself with the team that is and utilize their team and skills so that I'm not doing it. Those usually come from networks that I've established or groups or industry trade groups, conferences that I go to. Then I form a relationship with these people. Then I invest in them myself personally. I put my own money in all of these deals. I want to see, are they communicating as they should? Is this deal going as it should, et cetera? And find the best small core group of people that I can then in the future offer our network of investors for them to co-invest with me. Because again, I'm always the first investor. And then they can participate. We can do this as a group and hopefully get equal, well, not equal. We will get equal or better returns than if we go direct to the operator, the person actually doing it. So my job now, when we co-invest in these assets, is to make sure that I am poking holes in these operators or partners, I'll call them, because we end up being partners, poking holes in their underwriting. If you get a pro forma, which is just like a marketing package, right, that says what they think the property will do, I'm then going to look at the underwriting and make sure that it makes sense and that they're conservative in their underwriting and that rent is not jumping up and decreases or dropping to zero. These are the things that you want to look for. I'm background checking these people. I'm flying out to the properties to make sure that everything is legit, because there's a lot of bad people in the industry. So I have found it's very much about trust and knowing who you work with. And especially when you get involved in anything passive, if you don't want that, it's probably not for you. You need to do it yourself and go buy property yourself. But it does take that trust to get involved when you do passive real estate investing, because ultimately it comes down to the people that are working it, not the deal and not the numbers itself, but the human element.
Oh yeah, the human element. And speaking of the human element, you also got to think about perception, right? Just like we were talking about the doctors. I look at you, clean cut guy, strategically placed 5 o'clock shadow at 11 a.m. in the morning, fresh white painting, recessed lighting, some unique
pull-up bar.
hey, nice artwork. Hey, no, I'm sorry, aftermarket installed pull-up bar, right? Vegetation, live vegetation in the background. I see a guy like you and I think, no way that Ian is investing in mobile home parks. What am I missing?
I get that a lot from people. Mobile home parks are one of those asset classes that have flown under the radar for many years. Many people have a misconception that they are junky trailer parks. Nobody wants to live there. And I would argue that they're not all like that. In fact, every group of, let's say, real estate assets, single family homes, apartment complexes, shopping centers, we all have rundown, what you would view as a rundown property. It doesn't matter what it's in. Mobile home parks are one of those things to where you are giving families the ability to live affordably where they may not otherwise be able to live a life like that. They can own their own manufactured house, or let's call it a trailer, on that property. So there's some pride of ownership. And often people stay there long term. So we're looking for areas that, are pro-growth areas where there are family and communities. And we're getting in there and finding these existing properties we're not developing that are cash flowing already, and then trying to improve the community more. And in turn, everybody wins. But yeah, even my own family was asking, what are you doing with mobile home parks? And honestly, there's a lot of flashy things out there, but it fit my character best. I am a low risk guy. And when I see these investments today that are promising huge returns, I hope that for the people that are in them, they get those huge returns. But I know that high returns come with higher risk. And my goal in life now is, look, I'm putting my own money into this first. I don't want to lose my money. I'd rather take a lower return that's still good, may not be great, but I'm eliminating a lot of the risk along the way. And we are in an affordable housing crisis right now. have been for years. So income is not climbing as fast as housing prices, and we're getting more and more renters. So with mobile home parks, the supply is capped. Unlike apartment complexes where you can build one next door over and over and over, the cities aren't allowing new mobile home park developments to take place. They're very hard to come by. The states don't get as much property tax from them because the homes on them are personal property. That's not real property. Like, it doesn't have a foundation or a slab. So, and neighborhoods don't want them in their backyard because there's a stigma about trailer parks. But at the end of the day, if you provide a good community for people to live in, I think that you're doing good for the residents there. You do good for the investors and the investment itself. And that's how what I would value as a good investment to be a part of.
What's the liquidity like in these type of deals? Like, how long, once you're in, how long do you have to stay in?
You think of it like owning a property yourself. If you were to go buy it, because that's generally how they're announced. We'll get something that comes up and then we'll announce it. We're usually raising money for a couple of weeks, and that goes relatively quickly. But then you own that property, and so you shouldn't look at it as a fast liquidity move. Your money might be tied up 3 years to 7 years is just a general rule of thumb. So if you're considering $100,000, but next year you need that for something, it's not the right investment for you. You should put your money into something that's more liquid that you can still earn a return. You forego ownership when you do that, but no big deal. You need to make sure that you're investing in things that fit your lifestyle. And so that's generally, I'd say 3 to 7 years, because I do private lending and mobile home parks, so 2 lanes. One of them has liquidity, which is the private lending. People can pull their money in and out of there and earn a good return. But then on the mobile home park side, they're owning equity, and that's more of a longer term partnership deal. And it just depends on someone's personal circumstance to which one would be better for them at any given time.
Okay, yeah, because it sounds like the mobile home park is the longer play, but overall, is it a better return than assisting you on the private lending side?
They generally, I'd say that the private lending is more fixed, structured. You know exactly what you're going to get all the time. The way that the mobile home parks are structured a little bit differently. They do give better tax benefits, but it is, generally first year has lower return just because it's a new property, you're fixing things up. So, but over time that can evolve to where you can make better returns. And then there's another strategy that a lot of people are doing that I love right now. And instead of, usually when they show you this investment, they say, we're going to sell it in 5 years and you're going to make 2 times your money. But what a lot of operators are doing, if they find a really good property, they're holding on to it. And they're doing a refinance. And so essentially they're cleaning the place up, improving the rents, getting it occupied more than it was. And then they go back to the bank and say, look, our property based on commercial property valuations is worth, let's call it $2 million more. And you take a loan out against the new value and the investors get paid back. So they get a fixed return, they get paid back their money. But since it was a refinance, that money that they're paid back on is a loan, meaning their money, they've been made whole. They're out of the deal financially, but they still own a percentage of the property. They still have equity in it. So that's a really cool strategy. When that happens, you get all your money back.